He hasn't even played a full season yet, and he's already outselling half the quarterbacks in the NFL. The kind of players with MVPs, playoff wins, and Super Bowl rings. And Shedeur? He just got here. But what's happening around Shedeur Sanders isn't just about his jersey flying off shelves like it's the new iPhone. It's about a shift in what fans value and how rookies build their brands, and in how the NFL is learning the hard way that the old rules don't apply to the new generation. Let's start with the obvious. Shedeur Sanders is not just playing football. He's playing the game around the game.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
You don't rack up top 5 jersey sales without serious fan connection. And Sanders? He's not just connecting, he's creating a gravitational pull. Every post, every press conference, every stare down, he's a storyline, a soundbite, and a headline rolled into one. He's not waiting for the league to give him a spotlight. He is the spotlight. And don't for a second think this is just about flashy charisma or his famous last name. Shedeur backs it up. On the field, he's been everything he was hyped to be: calm, composed, accurate, and totally unfazed. You can throw chaos at him, you can throw blitzes at him, you cannot shake him. And that poise? That command of the moment? It bleeds through the screen. It's why fans who've never even watched a Colorado game are now tuning in, buying jerseys, reposting clips, and learning how to pronounce his name correctly. Because Shedeur Sanders represents something bigger. He's not just a quarterback, he's the face of this new era where athletes are more than just stats on a page. They're voices, brands, activists, style icons. And Shedeur? He checks every box and adds a few new ones of his own. So, what exactly does it mean that he leads all NFL rookies in jersey sales? Well, first, it means people care deeply about his story, about his rise, about his mission, and yes, about what number he's wearing on Sundays. But second, it means money. Real, tangible, powerful money. See, jersey sales aren't just a vanity metric. This isn't about bragging rights, it's about leverage. Because when your name is ringing up at cash registers across the country, you're not just a player anymore. You're an asset. And while Shedeur's team might be getting the spotlight, you can bet the league office is watching those jersey sales and calculating what he's worth to them. Because here's the thing the NFL doesn't like to talk about too much. Players don't make a ton off every jersey sold. It's not a direct cut. The money flows through licensing deals via the NFLPA, and only a small percentage comes back to the players individually. But when you sell as many jerseys as Shedeur, that small percentage becomes serious cash. We're talking 6 figures. Potentially 7. And the ripple effect? Even bigger. Because jersey sales fuel endorsement deals, brand partnerships, and media appearances. They show companies and marketers that this player, this person, moves product. And guess what? Companies love people who move product. That's why you're going to start seeing Shedeur everywhere. Commercials, billboards, TikToks, collabs with sneaker brands. His image is already bigger than his stat line, and that's what terrifies traditionalists in the NFL. Because for decades the league controlled the narrative. They told you which players mattered. They decided who got the camera time, who got the primetime games, and who got the brand deals. But Shedeur flipped that script, and he did it before the league even had a chance to catch up. He came in already media savvy, already branded, already with a built-in audience that followed him from Jackson State to Colorado to Cleveland. And now, that audience has grown into a nation of fans who don't care about your outdated scouting report, who don't want to hear about mechanics or reading the second safety. They want a leader, a vibe, someone who looks like them, talks like them, and walks onto the field like it's his house, every single time. And here's where it gets even more interesting. While Shedeur is rising, there's a quiet, almost invisible tension bubbling underneath. Not everyone's thrilled about his success. You've probably seen the whispers. He's only famous because of his dad. He's too flashy. He hasn't proven anything yet. He's more influencer than athlete. Sound familiar? It's the same song they've sung about every confident, young black quarterback who dares to break the mold. Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson, even Patrick Mahomes in the early days. It's not new, but it is tiring. Because what they're really saying isn't about his skill or his stats. It's about control. Shedeur isn't playing by the NFL's PR rulebook. He's not just grateful to be here. He's here to dominate, to build a brand, build a legacy, and build a community around himself that doesn't need the league's permission to thrive. And when you've got that kind of power, The old guard starts to get nervous. The question becomes, how does the NFL respond to someone like Shedeur? Do they embrace him as the new face of the league? Market him like they did with Mahomes? Or do they try to clip his wings a little? Subtly, quietly, by pushing different narratives, downplaying his impact, or giving more coverage to players who fit this safe mold? Because don't think the NFL hasn't noticed. They've seen the jersey numbers. They've seen the engagement stats. They've watched the highlight reels go viral. And behind the scenes, someone in marketing is asking, why isn't he on more promo posters? That's where this story heads next. Because Shedeur's rise isn't just about his ability, it's about visibility. And visibility? That's power. It's why people are questioning that $14 million figure that got tossed around in a few viral posts. Could he really have made that much just off jerseys? Probably not just jerseys. But total brand value? Licensing? Endorsements? Potential long-term revenue? Yeah, it tracks. Especially when you consider the way fans rally around Shedeur like he's their quarterback, even if they're not Browns fans. Even if they're not football fans. He represents something bigger. He represents confidence, family, legacy, swagger, generational change. And you can't fake that. You also can't stop it. Because we've seen this before. When someone like this comes around, someone who plays the game and plays above the game, it always disrupts the system. And the system always has a choice. Adapt. Or get left behind. So while Shedeur Sanders leads all rookies in jersey sales right now, don't be surprised when he leads the league in influence next. Because this isn't a fluke. This isn't hype. It's the future. And the sooner the league accepts that, the better. Because like it or not, Shedeur Sanders isn't just selling jerseys. He's selling a new era. So what do you think? Are we witnessing the rise of the NFL's next superstar? Or are we just at the start of something way bigger than football? Let me know in the comments, and if you're riding the Shedeur wave, hit that subscribe. Because this isn't just about a jersey. This is about a movement, and it's only getting started. The kind of power the NFL isn't used to sharing, especially not with a rookie quarterback who didn't come up through their approved pipelines, didn't come with the NFL prototype sticker slapped on his forehead, and definitely didn't ask for their permission to become a brand before he became a starter. Shedeur Sanders is flipping the NFL marketing model on its head, and the league is scrambling to catch up. Because guess what? For the first time in a long time, a rookie isn't waiting for ESPN, the NFL network, or league execs to tell his story. He's telling it himself. He owns the narrative. He drives the brand. And you're either on board, or you're behind. Now let's talk about why that jersey sales stat is such a huge deal. The NFL is a machine. A $20+ billion tightly controlled, military-grade PR machine. Everything, from who gets mic'd up, to who gets featured in the Sunday Night Football intro sequence, to who makes the cover of Madden, is meticulously curated to fit the league's image of what a marketable player looks and sounds like. And Shedeur? Well, he didn't read the script. He didn't show up to camp begging to prove himself. He showed up like he belonged because he does. He didn't kiss the ring or dim his light to earn his stripes. He lit the room up. He walked in with the poise of a 10-year vet and the confidence of someone who's already stared down doubters in every phase of his football life. From high school to Jackson State to Colorado and now in the pros, he's been doubted, labeled, and underrated at every step. And yet here he is, top 5 in jersey sales, outselling stars, commanding crowds, becoming the name on the backs of thousands of fans, across every state, across every demographic. And you want to tell me this is just hype? Let me ask you something. When was the last time a rookie quarterback, not drafted in the first 5 picks, not endorsed by every major analyst, and not even given a starting job immediately, still managed to outsell players with years of accolades and national TV exposure? You can't name one. Because it hasn't happened like this before. This is new. This is now. And here's where things start getting a little uncomfortable. Because with great popularity comes great scrutiny, and the NFL doesn't like rookies becoming too powerful too fast. Why? Because it breaks the hierarchy. In the traditional NFL model, rookies are supposed to be humble. They're supposed to earn it quietly. They're supposed to answer every question with yes, sir, and I'm just here to learn. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with humility. But Shedeur isn't arrogant. He's aware. He knows his worth. He knows his platform. And he knows how to move in a world where clicks, views, and engagement translate directly to cultural power. That's why brands are already lining up. That's why his interviews go viral. That's why jersey sales are booming. Because Shedeur Sanders isn't just playing football, he's building equity. In himself. In his image. in his story. And in a league that still prefers its stars to be squeaky clean corporate products? That makes him dangerous. Let's be real for a second. Part of why Shedeur's jersey sales are so impressive is because people relate to him. Not the glossy, polished version the NFL would package up in a Nike commercial, but the real, imperfect human version. He's confident. He's stylish. He's a little petty when he needs to be. He posts what he wants. He controls his social media. He claps back when necessary. He uplifts his teammates. He shows love to the fans. He feels like someone you know, someone you root for. And that's why the $14 million figure, whether it's totally accurate or not, blew up the way it did. Because it represented something more than money. It represented freedom. It was proof that a rookie with the right story and the right voice could tap into fan loyalty without needing a Super Bowl ring or a team of marketing consultants behind him. Of course, the league had to push back. Oh, the numbers inflated. Oh, it's just hype. Oh, we can't confirm those figures. Sure, okay. No one's saying Shedeur took home $14 million in pure jersey profits. But let's not pretend like that number didn't strike fear into the hearts of people whose entire job is to control who gets famous and how. Because if this is possible, if a player can bypass the traditional fame route, skip the rookie hazing phase and walk straight into cultural relevance on his own terms, then what even is the league's role anymore? That's the question they don't want to answer. Because right now, Shedeur is making the NFL money. That's undeniable. But what happens if his influence starts extending beyond their reach? What happens when Shedeur starts deciding what media outlets get access? What happens when he builds his own content empire? What happens when he starts mentoring other young athletes on how to take control of their own narrative before the NFL can write it for them? That's when it gets real. Because the NFL is a league built on legacy. But Shedeur? He's building a blueprint. A roadmap for how to be unapologetically yourself and succeed. For how to walk into a league that expects you to conform and say, "No thanks, I've got my own plan." And the best part? It's working. The fans see it. The kids see it. The college players see it. And the rookies coming up behind him? They're taking notes. Because jersey sales are cool. Endorsements are great. But the real win? Is owning your story. And that's what Shedeur Sanders is doing, better than any rookie we've seen in years. So where does it go from here? Does Shedeur become the face of the league? Do the endorsements keep rolling? Does the NFL embrace him or try to rein him in? Honestly? It depends on whether they're ready to accept that the future of this sport isn't just about talent. It's about influence. And Shedeur has it. In buckets. So to the doubters? The skeptics? The ones who still think jersey sales don't matter? Just remember, those sales are more than just numbers. They're votes. Every jersey is someone saying, "I believe in this player. I see myself in him. I want him to win." And right now, Shedeur Sanders is winning, on the field, off the field, and in every single fan's heart who just dropped $120 to rep his name. This isn't just a rookie campaign. It's a revolution. And it's only the beginning. And just when you think the Shedeur Sanders hype train might slow down, it shifts gears, hits turbo, and rockets right through the old guard's front lawn. Because this isn't some lucky spike in jersey sales. This is a seismic shift in how athletes are marketed, followed, and adored. This is fans, especially younger ones, voting with their wallets for personality over pedigree, connection over conformity, and impact over tradition. You know who else sees it? Every brand with a social media department under the age of 30. Shedeur doesn't just have reach, he has relevance. He trends. He creates moments. He can drop a caption, wear a watch, or flash a sideline grin, and boom, the culture reacts. There's no waiting for ESPN to crown him. He's crowning himself in real time. And that, right there, is why he scares the system. Because for decades, the NFL has operated like an exclusive club. You want in? You play nice. You smile the right way. You avoid saying too much, standing out too boldly, or heaven forbid, challenging the narrative. But Shedeur? He walks in with a Lewis bag full of receipts, a TikTok presence stronger than most teams, and the confidence to say, "I'm not just here to play ball. I'm here to build an empire." That's threatening. And thrilling. And so necessary. Because fans are changing. They want athletes who reflect real life. Who talk about their families. Who wear their stories like armor. Who own their mistakes and flex their growth. And Shedeur is all of that. Not perfect. Not polished. Not plastic. Just present. His rise isn't just about his dad either. Let's put that tired take to bed. Yes, Deion Sanders is iconic. Yes, the connection helped Shedeur get eyeballs early. But you know what? Eyeballs are cheap. Retention? Influence? Loyalty? That's all earned. You don't get to top 5 jersey sales in the NFL just because of your name. You get there because of what your name means to people. And Shedeur's name means something now. It means representation. It means confidence. It means new school hustle with old school values. It means the NFL doesn't get to gatekeep cool anymore. But with all this momentum comes something more complicated: pressure. Because while Shedeur is stacking wins and branding deals, there's also a group of critics just waiting to pounce on the first mistake. A bad game. A quote taken out of context. A single clip they can slow down, meme, and twist into a he's not focused narrative. It's already happening. The whispers are turning to think pieces. Is Shedeur too flashy? Can he lead without the Sanders name? Is he more Instagram than NFL? Let's call it what it is, a test. Not just of Shedeur but of us. Of how willing we are to let young black quarterbacks be human and marketable. To celebrate charisma without demanding perfection. To recognize leadership that looks different from what we're used to. Shedeur's not asking for a pass. He's asking for space. Space to lead how he leads. Space to grow. Space to be 100% authentic, even if it challenges some people's comfort zones. And honestly, that's the kind of player I want at the front of the league. One who knows how to throw touchdowns and shift the culture. One who sees football as a platform, not a cage. One who gets that the jersey isn't just a number, it's a flag. A statement. A vibe. So when we talk about jersey sales, let's stop acting like it's just about fabric. This is a symbol. That number 5 on fans' backs? It says, I believe in the next generation. It says, I back confidence, community, and culture. It says, this league is changing and I'm here for it. So go ahead, NFL. Keep the spreadsheets and the media training manuals. Shedeur's building something you can't replicate in a lab. He's got the crowd. He's got the confidence. And most importantly, he's got time. Because this isn't a peak. This isn't a moment. It's a movement. And every jersey sold is proof that the future of the NFL has already arrived. And it's wearing shades, smiling big and pointing to the sky like, you ain't seen nothing yet. So lace up. The era of Shedeur isn't coming. It's here. Because the moment Shedeur Sanders' jersey cracked the top 5 across all players, not just rookies but the league's elite, it sent a very loud, very clear message across front offices, locker rooms, and broadcast booths. The formula has changed. Gone are the days when rookie success was measured strictly by yards thrown and passes completed. Today, success is multidimensional. It's measured in jersey sales, social media engagement, community impact, locker room energy, and, yep, cultural resonance. And Shedeur? He checks all the boxes. But what's even more wild? The speed. The velocity with which he captured hearts, headlines, and half the internet's attention. He didn't ease his way into the league. He walked in, took the AUX cord, and started DJing his own narrative. He went from Dion's son to the guy to watch in the blink of a route. Now, we've talked about how the league isn't built for guys like him, at least not without a few adjustments. And by adjustments, I mean thinly veiled attempts to slow him down. Because as the jerseys fly off the shelves and the media eats up every single clip, there's a quiet resistance brewing behind the scenes. Whispers from executives. Eye rolls from media gatekeepers. Subtle jabs about his flashiness, his swagger, or how he should focus on the playbook. You know what that is? That's fear. Fear of losing control over the narrative. Fear of someone outside the machine becoming bigger than the machine itself. Because Shedeur isn't just a quarterback. He's a conversation. He's a mirror reflecting the next generation of what sports icons look like. And guess what? He's not asking for anyone's approval. He's got his own platform. His own team. His own family-run operation that's been finessing media since before he ever threw a collegiate touchdown. And for every critic, there are 10,000 fans rocking that number 5 jersey, posting clips, tagging brands, and showing up for him, not just because he's talented but because he feels real. But let's step back and ask the question every old-school analyst keeps throwing around. Is Shedeur actually that good? Spoiler, yes. Is he perfect? No. And he's the first to admit that. But he plays with a composure that most rookies don't find until year 3. He's already shown an ability to process the game, stay cool under pressure, and command a huddle like it's been his since Pop Warner. And here's the kicker. He knows the spotlight's on him. He knows every throw, every facial expression, every post-game quote is going to be analyzed like it's a presidential address. And he still leans into it. That's not arrogance. That's presence. And presence? You can't coach that. You can't fake it. You either have it or you don't. Shedeur has it in spades. Now let's pivot for a second. Because while everyone's tripping over his jersey sales, there's a deeper conversation happening about how players like Shedeur are leveraging their brand power, and what that means for the future of player agency in the NFL. We're talking personal media channels, family-run PR, nil-style deals translating straight into the pros. And Shedeur? He's a walking case study. He's proof that you don't need to wait on a brand to validate you. You don't need ESPN to crown you. When you come in with a loyal following, a smart team, and a story that resonates, you build your own platform. And the NFL, frankly, isn't used to that. They're used to controlling the rollout. They decide who gets the Nike deal, who makes the Gatorade commercial, who gets the Monday night spotlight. But Shedeur flipped that dynamic. Now, brands are coming to him because they see what we see. He's not a fad. He's a movement. And it's not just young fans jumping in. It's older fans who are tired of the sanitized, media-trained robots giving the same 3 quotes after every game. Shedeur speaks with authenticity, whether it's about football, family, faith, or community. Which brings us to another key point in his rise, his off-field impact. See, Shedeur didn't just show up in Cleveland to throw passes. He showed up in communities, inner-city schools, non-profit events, food drives. And he wasn't doing it for PR. He was doing it because he knows where he came from. He knows the power of showing up. And when people see a player who's real on the field and real in their neighborhood, that's when fandom goes from casual to lifelong. That's when you sell jerseys to people who've never even watched a Browns game. Because Shedeur isn't just representing himself. He's representing possibility. For kids who've been told they're too confident, too loud, too flashy. For young athletes who've watched their personalities get edited out of highlight reels. He's showing them, you don't have to tone it down. You just have to own it. And now that he's cracked the top 5 in NFL merch sales, the league is forced to pay attention. Forced to adapt. Forced to ask, what if this is the new blueprint? Spoiler again, it is. And don't be surprised if we see more rookies following suit, building their own brands before they even step on an NFL field. If Shedeur's success teaches us anything, it's that the gatekeepers don't hold the keys anymore. The audience does. So where does this all go? We're still early in the Shedeur era, but the foundations are already being laid. He's got the talent. He's got the voice. He's got the receipts. And with every touchdown, every post, every jersey sold, he's redefining what it means to be a franchise QB in 2025. He's not just playing for stats. He's playing for the culture. So whether you're on the train or still standing at the station, one thing's crystal clear. This isn't a trend. This is a takeover. And Shedeur Sanders? He's just getting started.